Some stories don't end with goodbye. They echo in rooms, in cities, in people who keep listening even after the silence begins. This is the echo between worlds, a quiet love story that ended in pieces, in memories, in the space between what was said and what stayed unsaid. It began in Lisbon, two people, one love that fractured quietly. Each part has followed the echo from different side of the loss. Now the silence has shifted. Some might call it healing or freedom. Some just call it quiet. Lisbon still remembers. I didn't plan to go anywhere today, just walked. The air felt clear, not light, but not heavy either. Like the ache had finally stopped checking in. The city looked the same, tiles still chipped in the same corners. Shutters still half open on Rua de Flores. Even the cafe across from the post office still put out 2 sugar packets with every espresso. I used to wonder if it hurt him too, the remembering. Now I don't wonder, not because I know, just because I don't need to. I walked past the old bookstore, didn't stop, didn't even glance at the window where his reflection used to land. Everything's quieter now, not because I forgot, but because forgetting stopped feeling urgent. There's a kind of silence that doesn't ask questions anymore, just walks beside you like a shadow that learned not to speak first. Today felt like that. Maybe that's all freedom is. Not the end of the memory, just the part where it stops pulling. The waiter asked if I wanted anything sweet. I said just a tart. I didn't mean it like that. 1 pastel di nata, 1 bicca, the view. Everything was fine. Warm light, table facing the water. I took a bite, too sweet. And then the coffee, bitter. I smiled like it meant something. No one noticed. There was a time when this would have been a perfect morning. A place to pause, to talk, to laugh at how the espresso always too strong. I even imagined you sitting there, just for a second. Same chair, elbow on the table, head tilted like always. You weren't there, of course, but the quiet was shaped like you. Like the cafe had saved the place not for a person, but for a feeling you used to leave behind. I didn't linger, didn't take a picture, didn't even finish the tart. But I kept thinking, who taught me to sit like that? To sip slowly, to face the river. Not the waiter, not the view. Some habits aren't yours. They just live in your hands after someone else is gone. I stopped at the bakery, bought a small loaf, still warm. Not because I was hungry, just because it smelled good. Because it was there. Then I passed the flower stand, picked one, white, delicate. Didn't ask for the name. I told myself it was a kind gesture, something soft to carry, something simple. To choose something without needing permission. That's what freedom is, right? Doing things for no one, not explaining them, not performing. I didn't need the bread, didn't care about the flour, but I bought them anyway. Maybe I just needed something to carry that wasn't memory, something to hold that didn't hurt. Someone laughed behind me, and for a second, I smiled too. No reason, just the sound of it. I turned, expecting someone to meet my eyes, to share the moment, to let it land. But there was no one, just footsteps fading. The river still moving, a plastic bag caught in a tree. That's what I miss maybe, not the love, not even the touch, just having someone to look at when the world surprised me. I walked a while. The path curved gently beside the water. Tiles shifted under my feet. There were couples, tourists, an old man with a cane who looked like he'd done this every day for decades. They moved around me like I wasn't there. Not in a cruel way, just like I wasn't part of it. I passed the railing and stopped. I thought I was done with it. Thought I could walk through the city without thinking of you. But the laughter, that smile, it didn't belong to me. I just borrowed it, and it didn't stay. The apartment was darker than I remembered, like it had been holding its breath, waiting for me to come back. I set the bread on the counter, the flour beside it, a quiet room, and a version of myself I hadn't heard from all day. Funny, I spent the whole day feeling like I was past this, past you, past everything. But the space didn't care. It remembered. It remembered how you used to leave a book open on the couch, how the window latch never sat quite right, how I always paused just before turning on the light, like you might already be there. I sat down without turning anything on, just sat, in the same place you once stood, saying something I've forgotten in a voice I still remember. People think moving on feels like closing a door, but sometimes it's just sitting in the same chair with different silence, the kind that doesn't hurt anymore, but still looks like you when the lights are off. Ellie. He didn't say Ellie's name to bring it back, just to hear how it sounded in a room that used to answer. He had walked the city, bought the bread, faced the river, almost smiled, and still, what waited at home was just space, the kind that lingers after love forgets to close the door. Lisbon remembered, so did he. But this time, he didn't call it healing, just quiet. If this echo stayed with you, let it. Leave a comment. Tell us what still echoes for you. Like, subscribe. It helps keep the story alive. You've been listening to The Echo Between Worlds, Part 4, The Space That Followed Me.
I say